Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Much has been said about the very strange idea of Rishi Sunak about national service and how it's been split. There's two types. There's one of them which is a military form of national service and one that is more a social form of national service. And in principle, it's basically a sound idea. If you've got unemployed youths with not much to do, offer them an opportunity. It could change their lives. There is sense to it. But it must be service. And it's the words he's using, service. Therefore, it must be voluntary. It's not an obligation. I think it cannot. In a modern democracy, you cannot oblige people that they must do particular things. It seems odd and weird to insist otherwise. And yet, Rishi Sunak wants to insist otherwise. He wants enforcement. He wants obligation of young people to his bright idea. Now, already there's confusion, especially over the military side, about whether it's a year in the military or it's a few weeks in the military over the course of a year. And of course, even then, the military, and I've mentioned this before, the military themselves don't want it. The military wouldn't mind an extra 30,000 recruits, of course not. But they'd have to be full-time, sort of 3-year, and importantly, voluntary recruits. The British military is a voluntary military. There is no draft. There is no compunction. And it's one of the reasons why, for a long time now, the British Army has been so good. It is volunteers willing to do it. I, myself, signed up. Wasn't a good soldier. Wasn't a bad soldier. I was a pretty average soldier. But I enjoyed some of the things I did. And it did undoubtedly change the course of my life. And I don't think that there's many people who've joined the military in whatever shape or form who won't say that it hasn't changed their lives, and mostly for the better. Of course, there's going to be a few unfortunates, and for that, you can only be expected. However, because of this service element, that in itself, just by the description, means it must be a voluntary thing. Rishi Sunak now is coming out in desperation, and it's the only explanation is that there's this desperation. It's an act of a desperate man. Sorry, my dog is wandering around and slightly annoying me with not settling down. It's the act of a desperate man that he's now looking to make it obligatory by threat. And what he's saying is that if young people don't do this service, then they will not be allowed to have a driving license. If they have a driving license, it will be pulled from them. If they don't have a driving license, they will not be allowed to have a driving license. And they will have access to credit denied. Now, straight away, we see a problem. Straight away, this level of enforcement, first of all, is going to go straight through the courts. It will be found to be illegal straight away. Also, human rights, also other things. But also, just think about this. If you don't go and do something that a politician thinks you ought to do, and if you choose not to in an open society, an open, free, democratic society, you will be punished, then you are not living in an open and free, democratic society. You are living in an autonomous dictatorship. And much as I'm sure a lot of politicians wished that they were in charge of an autonomous dictatorship, this cannot stand. It's got zero chance of happening, of course, because it would require the Tories to win the election. It ain't going to happen. Not for 10 years minimum, if at all. And so he can say what he likes, he can push what he likes. But the very fact that he's putting these sanctions up, these punishments, because you dare to disagree, you dare to disobey, you dare to say, no, I will not do military service. No, I will not join the Royal National Lifeboat Institute because I disagree with bringing foreigners in from the sea. No, I will not do this. Well, of course, who the hell am I to say whether you're right or wrong? No one. It's your choice. If you don't want to do it, absolutely fine. Because that's what living in a free society must come to. In our society, I think you have basically one obligation. Well, two. Let's say two obligations. One is, if you wish to remain in our society, you obey our laws. And two, you hold on to our values. But beyond that, do what you like so long as you're not harming people. Nobody cares if you want to collect stamps, if you want to be interested in whatever. Everyone's got a hobby, right? Some people find it's weird. Everyone's got a sexual proclivity. As long as nobody's getting harmed, don't care. It's a free and open society. Stay within the law. Stay within our values. Who cares? But to threaten people, a government to threaten your freedoms, your rights, your access to travel or to credit because you're not doing what they think is an ideologically right thing to do, is dangerous. It's 1930s Germany dangerous. And if that's the route Rishi Sunak wants to go, if that's how Rishi Sunak wants to move the Conservative Party into that kind of sphere where there is a direct comparison with the modern 21st century Conservative Party with the National Socialist Party of Germany in the 1930s, then I think the Conservatives, not only are they finished, but they deserve to be finished. Where's conservative values? Where's that right-wing freedom values? Gone, dissipated, destroyed, simply because they refuse to have leaders who are from this country, who have this country's heritage, culture, history, values. This is a man who ran away from the Normandy beaches and then apologised to the TV crew, saying, sorry, that thing overran. It may be okay in his culture, but it's not in ours. And so screw Rishi Sunak, screw the Tories, screw all that idea. Screw you, Sunak. Do as I say or get punished. Punish me. Rishi, these are for you. Thanks a lot for listening. Let me know what you think about this plan. Do you want to be punished for not obeying the ideological orders of your betters? Or do you put your finger up and say, screw them? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.